This was an interesting step for me because when we started developing this lab, we didn't really have that last actionable, that last piece of the puzzle that would transfer value into actually an actionable that could rethink and authenticate the original challenge. So this drill down right here is how we look to disrupt. Now, I want to make sure we talk about this on step 5. We call it disruption. It's not destruction. Disruption is not meant to totally annihilate the original rapid prototype or even the original challenge. But it's meant to kind of waken the avenue, steward what was brought to the table here. Because a lot of times as young people, they want to think their own ideas are the brand newest ideas in the room, and it dismisses everything else behind us. I'm prone to that. I'm a very radical thinker at times, and I need to make sure that I'm not in destruction mode, but only in disruption mode. So when we drill down, we have a value mindset. It's humanity-driven innovation specific to community, and social change demands empathy. And empathy demands the sharing of journey's experience. So when you start to drill down, we ask you as a group, it says get back into that group that you were working with. And that you built this, that you had built this somebody else's, you prototype somebody else's challenge, and get into that group. And now when you've got these different answers to your values, we ask you to start to bundle them. That means you and 2 or 3 or 4 other people might have a different value, unified values around education or passion or heart or whatever. But what you need to be doing now is bundle your values, similar ideas. And then talk about which ones are the best of these elements. You might have now, if it's 6 of you and 6 answers on the speed dating, you might have 18 cards. And out of those 18 cards might come 4 or 5 different value bundles. It's a way to start talking about each other again, that empathy design. And bundle those up, okay? Then take one more, then after you bundle those, and if you're doing that right now and I'm going too fast or probably going to be too slow right now, who knows in the webinar design, what you want to do is you want to then think about taking one more step by combining the best elements in the other bundles. So if you've broken them down into 7 bundles, not all the bundles are going to be applicable to what our next step is here. And now it's asking now for you to take these bundles and think about this. As you add these new actionable bundles and theme tools should now present a new perspective and angle in which they approach the original challenge. And I'm going to give you an anecdote before we move into this final step here. I did this authentication lab in the summer of 2016 with a group of 16 students who were seeking admission in the University of Dayton or thinking about University of Dayton School of Engineering. And they were a diverse bunch of individuals, right? And their challenge, what I brought to them in their challenge template was, what are the 3 challenges you're having right now in the first 3 days of this engineering camp? That was it. Asking them what their 3 challenges were. And what came out of it was a series of, I'm having a hard time meeting people, right? That was how they were challenged. They were challenges. And so one of the groups said, I'm having a hard time waking up at 7 in the morning. So get it now, okay? So that was their challenge. So when they got passed on to somebody, another group prototyped a huge alarm clock for them, a new alarm clock to get them up, right? This new alarm clock, big speakers, that's going to get you up at 7 in the morning. But then when we started to work through these values and these drill downs and these honesty points, and they went back to that prototype, the group that created it, and they go back to that prototype, and they start bundling the values. What they started to find out was something very different, that it wasn't about waking up at 7 in the morning. That really was about them not being able to fall asleep the night before on time because they were stressed out. Because they too were worried about meeting everybody and all the new things that come with coming to an engineering camp at a university as high schoolers and not knowing anybody. So when you come back to this present, when you drill down with these values, has the challenge actually, you need to start thinking, has this challenge actually changed? This final step here, the innovative application.